I'm gonna do my fabulous U-turn. Hold on!
Here we go.
Whoa!
Nice
Do you
wide
remember when you were
streets.
in like high school and it was snowing and you'd be
Oh,
out
yes.
driving
Oh,
and you
yeah.
would
Pull
be
into an empty parking
running
lot
out
and
and
do
donuts all around? Okay.
I remember it like it was
Do the
yesterday.
kids still do that? Do
Of
they
course, I
right,
would
they
hope
still-
so.
That was so much fun, right?
I mean, that's how you learn to be a
Sorry,
really good
everyone.
driver.
Now I've made everyone sick. We've now done a figure 8
I know,
here
I'm
in the
like,
street. Woo!
no
Off we go. So this neighborhood is a lot of older homes, some newer homes interspersed. But what's nice about them is this is clearly a newer home that has been made to look old. In my mind, right? Like it has sort of a really classic feel to it. It feels much more 1920s colonial than 2000 colonial, although I believe it was probably in the 90s. That's my impression. And it's beautiful, but I'd like to hear how you could improve upon it. Clearly, someone who really likes their home. Who wants to go first?
I want to jump in.
Okay, good.
So I'm going to talk about scale because I really like this house. But I look at things like the wreath above the two beautiful garage doors, and I think that's too small. I look at the little pots and the little sort of Santa Claus stuff at the door, and I think that's too small. I like the wreath at the front door. I think that's the right size and scale. Um, and that's just decoration, but that stuff matters. If you get the right heft, it just works better. Then I want to talk about this island. That's a Rose of Sharon, which what they're doing there by coppicing it, by just cutting it like that, they're controlling it, which is not a bad thing to do. But I think we can all agree it looks awful and it won't look good for 2 years. So I would move that plant somewhere else and put a plant here that can be graceful and gorgeous without having to be womped like it is in this case. Um, I like that they included that light post. I think I'm going to steal Kyle's thunder and say, maybe a new light post, right? Yay. Uh, and then just one other thing with the garden. I do enjoy the boxwood that lines the front door. That's a very sort of classic look that people go for. A caution, though, that boxwoods will die if you use salt on your front walk. So you have to be careful when you're using boxwoods in that manner because it does snow in New England. Um, I think that the two areas flanking the front door could really use a little bit more um, individuality. A height element here would be nice in this corner, but and the two taxis flanking the front door, good idea, but not working. So I would actually change those out for probably hollies, but good idea. Finally, and then I know I'm sort of talking too much. Finally, the way that the plants are pruned, I believe those are azaleas. It's hard to know because of the shape. They've been lollipopped, and I'm not a fan. I prefer plants that are allowed to have their natural look. I think it's softer and prettier. But that's it. It's a lovely house. That's it for me.
It's so funny. We have the same instincts, I think hollies are absolutely a great way to go, and I think this is a house that needs plants to be architectural. It needs that corner. It needs one to the left of the right of the door and one to the left of the door, and maybe one at the corner. I want them tall. I want them hollies. I want them with glossy leaves, and I want them to feel like they're part of the structure almost, right? And I think similarly, the um, the idea that you could scale up whatever is happening in this really formal moment in the mulched circle here. I think that's a great idea. I would also, again, if Kyle's on the right track here, I would swap out and integrate, coordinate the lighting that's on the garage, the lighting. I want sconces at that front door, and I want not one post but two. Actually, I would rather see one that's closer to the street and then one that marks where the path is, and I would hardscape it. I think if you look at pictures of really traditional homes in Virginia, for example, there's a lot of like brick open area. There's a lot of beautifully hardscape. I think that would really, you don't need a lawn for this house. You need a formal parterre situation. You just more structure. I would say just more structure in whatever's going on. I think you're right. The moves are too small, and I would make them bigger. I would put I mean, sort of similarly, and the positioning of the small window up there. I feel like I want there to be something decorative, underneath that. I would put
Oh,
the wreath
yeah.
up there and make it fill the space. Um, I love the fact that it is a balanced, asymmetrical, traditional, transitional home. I think those are always a great way to go. But I do want to see big, tall hollies.
In general, though, we really think the house is pretty.
Yeah, I mean, it's
pretty.
beautiful.
No.
It's beautiful.
This
Watch
is
yourselves.
definitely a house that has natural curb appeal. So when you drive
Absol-
by, you say,
absolutely.
"Oh, that is a pretty house." And I don't know if it's the arch, the garage door arches, the dental
And then the
molding, I
round,
don't
yeah,
know. It's just, to me, you see a lot of houses. I just think it's a pretty house.
I agree.